How you guys doing? This is very important in reference to illegal spying and illegal use of satellites. We need to know what race and religion the satellite controllers are and what do they claim they own in America and what race and religion they are. See, these people that are using these satellites are people that don't own very much in this country. And they're attacking people that have family history of owning land and properties. Now, see, that's a problem, isn't it? Your satellite controllers are attacking people that come from families that have built businesses and companies in America for hundreds of years. Now, why is that? You thought if you got into government, you thought you could attack people that own land? You thought you could attack people that owned media companies and grocery stores, and you thought you'd steal the management of them and try to murder the owner or something? We know how some of you people play your tricks when you try to steal companies. We know you try to claim that you try to forge that you bought something that wasn't for sale. Then you got these management criminals that are trying to manage corporations as they're trying to fool the public that they were representatives of the company when they're conspiring against the owner of the company. See, in reference to business management companies that are defrauding corporate owners or a person that owns corporations such as my mother and father and my family history, you thought you'd make up racism because you're either working for the Nazis or you're another race of person that's trying to steal in America, and you're covering up that you're working for the Nazis and you're disguising yourself as a different race, or you're accepting bribes to make up lies and tricks. Bribes in America, man, are pretty serious in reference to communism. That can get you thrown in prison for the rest of your life. And can get you deported, too. So in reference to your government people, you tried to call me a racist because you're wanting to steal the American companies that my parents and grandparents built. That you had no creation of any kind of those companies. Isn't that strange? Your people think you can steal another person's company just by imagining shit in your brain, which is a violation of law in reference to your activities of trying to steal what I'm the owner of. You have no legal right, government man, and you won't ever. You think if you got into government and you thought you could trespass, you thought you could make up lies on people? That's corruption in government. Did you ever read the inauguration? It tells every race of every person that's ever been president in this country, don't steal from me, don't abuse me, don't trespass on my companies or my land. And some of you politicians even campaigned on some of my mother or father's business properties. And some of you was even on the TV networks of my mother and father's companies. And then you conspired, which you violated the inauguration of your position in government and your criminal activities of racism. This country's not owned by the government, man. And it won't ever be. And there's guidelines in reference to land and what type of land people are allowed to buy and what type of land people are not allowed to buy, and how much land people are allowed to buy and how much land they are not allowed to buy. I can't sell nothing, and my parents was the majority owners of most of the land in America. Is that not true? And my grandparents. So you're crossing the line, you know that, right? With your activities of abusing me and damaging my face and teeth, and your illegal criminal activities with illegal use of satellites in America? What race are you? German? You Middle Eastern? What race are you, government man? Seems like all the Italians and Europeans understand the American laws, and so do a lot of Americans. And the Irish, they understand the laws, don't they? A lot of other people understand the laws. So who are you, government man? You think you can mess up somebody else's face and teeth, making up racism? Because my parents and grandparents owned more land than anybody else in America? Is that what you're doing, government man? Trying to steal hundreds of years of my family history because you thought you were the big thing in politics? When the political laws are there to govern government so they don't try to get too big of themselves, or so they don't try to steal, and so they don't conspire with inside the country of America. That's why there's an impeachment process. Anybody concealing the identities of any of these thieves or political criminals or branches of government, those people face prosecution themselves. So who do you think you are, coming into America and stealing from me and my family history and my mother and father's companies and estates? Nothing's ever for sale. And you tried to murder me. So anybody claiming they thought they were going to buy any of the companies are suspect, because the companies are not for sale. You were trying to force me to sell companies? Can't. My parents got murdered. Any person trying to muscle me at all is attempts of murder and manslaughter attempts, no matter what level of government you are. So in reference to the activity of the dirty politician satellite man, the newspapers have to, and the media has to, say what the DNA types are of each politician. And the satellite controllers too. See, some people think that the bad Germans conspired with the bad Middle Easterners, and they tried to steal America. Now, what person ever claimed, because there's laws in government, and deeds laws outrank politicians. And deeds laws are followed by the books, man. So who do you think you are? You think because you were in politics, you thought you could satellite people? What race and religion are you, man? Who do you think you are? Do you know who you are, government man? Are you a illegal political person? Except the governors and mayors, they get inaugurated. Don't they? They go through an inauguration process and read information about who I am and who my parents are. Same thing with satellite controllers. They have a document right there on their database. Isn't it strange? These people work in government and they look at the information. It says, don't touch me, don't burn on me, don't try to steal my identity, don't scar on me, don't damage anything on my body. With your cheap shots, your games, your mutilations. Who do you think you are, government man? You're funny, don't you? You like watching somebody and then hitting them with satellite transmissions and burning them, but you won't fess up to it, would you? You thought you'd make up lies because you think you're funny. Isn't there internal affairs against, or isn't there an internal affairs division in politics that regulates branches of government? There's supposed to be. So who do you think you are, dirty satellite man? Who do you think you are? You got into politics not owning very much, and you thought you'd attack people. Your title does not allow you to attack me or to abuse me or to steal from me in any way. The Deeds Department probably already told all you satellite controllers that. You don't have a right damaging my career or violating my athletics or my anatomy or my beauty or supermodel career or singing career or speaking career. You think you're a representative of more land than I am? I'm the owner of my mother and father's estates. You know how many millions of acres that is? Or hundreds of thousands? Well, it's over a few million, isn't it? What do you represent? You claim you represent the whole country, right? Because you're in government. But then you're conspiring against my ownership? My mother and father's land and grandparents' land was all legal, and I'm the rightful owner, and you're not. And the fact that you tried to frame me, slandering my character, with your illegal movement of trying to steal land in America, you need to get prosecuted for your crimes. And my family and parents was here before your family, government man. And my family was richer than yours. And I'm the owner of my mother and father's estates, and the lawsuits go up every day. The lawsuits went up just again. They're still hitting me right here. And the refusals, those lawsuits go up too. It's more lawsuits every day, man. Every second that you're hitting me with satellites, every second you're burning on me with satellites, the lawsuits go up every second that you're doing anything to me, government man.